Hello. Here we are taking a look at the acceleration questions and problems, set 1. Taking a look at question number 4. So the question is, what does an acceleration of 5 miles per hour per second mean? Or 5 miles per hour per second mean? So I notice that what I have here is I have a distance unit, miles, divided by a time unit, or per time unit, hours, and then per another time unit, seconds. So I know that miles per hour, you might recognize that as my change in position in miles that I do every hour for each hour of time. You say, well, I recognize that distance per time, well, gosh, that's what velocity is. It's my change in position, right? My displacement per time, right? The time it took. And so that would be a distance over time. But what I want to do is I want to look at that, how much I'm changing my position per time. But I want to look at not just that, but that per second. So I'm looking at the change in this per time. That's why there's the second time unit. So I'm kind of looking at, this is going to be how much my velocity is changing, 5 miles per hour, each second. So this is really going to be like my change in V per T, right? That's acceleration, change in velocity per time. So an acceleration of 5 miles per hour per second, right, for acceleration, you say, what's that telling me? It's saying that every second of time that goes by, my velocity increases. I'm going to add, actually, I should just say I'm going to add 5 miles per hour to it every second. Okay, so we are adding 5 miles per hour to our velocity or speed every second. I should really say to our velocity every second. Yeah. Okay, that's what it's telling us. Does this mean we're getting faster? Maybe. If I had a velocity that was 0 or positive to start with, and then I add 5 to it, it's going to go from being a positive value to a bigger positive value if I add 5 to it. But what if my starting velocity, what if my V naught, what if it was a negative value? What if my starting velocity was negative 8 meters or miles per hour, right? That means how fast was I going? In an hour at that velocity, I would go 8 miles in the negative direction. You say, but what if my acceleration, what if I'm going to add every hour, I'm going to add 5 to it? Well, an hour later, right? 1 hour later, I would have added 5. Now my velocity would just be negative 3 miles per hour. Which is faster? Negative 8 miles each hour or negative 3 miles each hour? This is faster. You're going farther. The negative is just direction, right? So as much as we have been taught in class that a negative 3 is greater than negative 8, in this case, with vectors here, like velocity, the negative just has to do with direction, not with size. And so we don't really care about the size when we're comparing how big these values are. This negative 8 miles per hour is definitely faster than negative 3 miles per hour. And so in this case, if I'm adding 5, I actually get slower. This is something that trips people up quite regularly. They forget that this negative is just for direction, and they think that if I'm adding to my velocity, I must be getting faster. But nope, if you move in the negative direction, you add to it, you can actually get slower. Okay, and that's what I have to say about problem 4, or question 4.